Young would go on to score 13 of his 39 points in the fourth quarter as the Hawks stormed back to steal Game 5 in Philly. The series now shifts back to Atlanta with the Sixers on the verge of elimination as they are now down 3-2 in the series. Fox Sports NBA analyst Chris Broussard joins us now. Chris, was last night more about crediting the Hawks or discrediting the Sixers here?
Well, let me say this. You have to give credit to the Atlanta Hawks and their absolutely outstanding head coach, Nate McMillan. Skip, I've been covering the NBA for more than a quarter century, and this is one of the best coaching jobs I've ever seen. This is a team that was 20-47 last year and was playing on that pace before Nate took over, and now he's got them beating a superior team in the Eastern Conference second round. So I can't say enough about him and his players, their heart, their resilience, their toughness, all that. But without question, this is more about the Philadelphia 76ers and their absolutely epic collapse. All right, where do I begin? I think everybody except Seth Curry gets some blame. Seth was great, 36. If it wasn't for him, who knows what that would have been like last night.
He tried to save
let's start with Tobias Harris.
He tried to save his father-in-law, Chris.
Tobias Harris. Right. Yeah. But ain't no saving him, at least at this point. He got life left, but we'll see. But I'll get to Doc. Tobias Harris, I need more than 4 points. You're a 20-point scorer, borderline all-star. Upset that you didn't make the all-star team, and I get it, but you got to give me more than 4. Ben Simmons, this is embarrassing. 4 for 14 from the free throw line. And here's the talk, guys. Well, and we've heard Doc say it all year, he makes up for it on the defensive end. Philadelphia's got 3 All-NBA defenders, and they gave up 40 points in the fourth quarter. I mean, it's just indefensible, all right? Ben takes 4 shots, so now it is affecting his aggressiveness. He don't want to get fouled. And so he's not being aggressive and attacking the basket so he can score and create more opportunities for his teammates. And Doc Rivers, look, I know y'all love Doc. I love Doc. Everybody loves Doc. Doc is one of the most personable, likable, popular guys in the NBA. But Doc is not being paid to be nice to the media and be a politician. This is ridiculous. I mean, last night was not only his second straight game dropping an 18-point lead or more, it was the 11th playoff game in his career where his team has lost after leading by 15 or more points. Oof. That is the most in the last 25 years. Oof. And no one else, no other coach is even in double figures in that category. So we know he's dropped 3-1 leads in the playoffs. No other coach has dropped more than 1. This is bad. This is what Doc was brought in for. Brett Brown was doing this type of stuff. They brought Doc in to fix it, and he hasn't. Or, he's got life. He got 2 games left, but he got to get it done. And then I'm going to go to a guy that might escape. I didn't see what you guys said earlier, but he may have escaped a lot of people's wrath. Because if you look at the box score this morning, hey, don't blame Joel. 37, 13, 5 dimes, 4 blocks. He showed up. No, he didn't in the fourth quarter. He was 6 points in the fourth quarter, 1 for 5 from the floor. And the most stunning thing to me, this most disappointing thing too, was with a minute and a half left. And he is the best big center, legitimate center, mid-range shooter, and an outside shooter I've ever seen. Ever. He's better than Patrick Ewing from the mid-range. His mid-range game is phenomenal. And yet, with a minute and a half left, Philly down 1, he passed up on the same possession 2, 10, 12-foot jump shots to pass the ball. He didn't want it. And then, of course, with 11 seconds left, misses 2 free throws, 86% foul shooter. He didn't want it. And guys, and I'm going to end with this. As I was watching them collapse in the fourth quarter, and particularly Embiid do nothing, I was thinking about watching him cry after Game 7 when Kawhi killed them, beat them with that jump shot at the buzzer. And he was crying on the court talking to Marc Gasol from the Raptors. He was crying on his way to the locker room in the tunnel. And I'm just thinking, all that for this? If it means that much to you, and it meant a lot to him, and I credit him for it, but you don't go out like this if it means that much to you. You have to go down swinging as one of the best players in the world. And that was disappointing that Embiid didn't go down swinging.
In this series, I don't think anybody has a bigger mismatch than him. He outweighs Clint Capella by 70 pounds. Easy.
What happened in the first quarter?
He can get whatever he can get whatever he wants, whenever he wants, on the block. But you know that banging, that's that dirty, that's that grunt work. Man, nobody care about no banging. They want to shoot that pretty. They want to see that mid-range. They want to see the threes. And plus, Ben Simmons, how does an all-NBA player, an all-star player, starting point guard, becomes unplayable in clutch situations? Have we ever seen that in the history of the game, Chris?
No.
Skip?
No.
A all-NBA or all-star player that becomes unplayable? And we had this conversation a week or so ago about Doc said, well, you don't know basketball, you think I should take Ben Simmons out. And I said, Doc, it's about trying to win the game. It's not about you trying to mask his feelings and how he's going to feel.
He was trying to save the kid's psyche. Yeah, okay.
His psyche is ruined. He going 4-14 from the line. He going 2-10 from the line. His psyche is gone this year. So you got to get him out. He shot, hold on, this man played 38 minutes and attempted 4 field goals, Chris. You know why he attempted that many? Because he can't shoot the three. He has no mid-range game. The only way he's going to get a field goal is if he's going to the basket. Well, if I go to the basket, they already going to foul me because they know they're not going to give me an and one, so they're going to foul me and put me on the free throw line. So, you know what? I just rather pass the ball to Seth Curry, have my assist total look nice. Nah, bruh, you 6'10". You 6'10". And you playing like this? What I'm supposed to do with this, Chris? What I'm supposed to do with 8, 9, and 4, and 2? 8, 9, and 1. What I'm supposed to do with that? As an all-NBA player, and as you mentioned, 3 all-NBA defensive players, and you give up 69 points in the second half, 40 in the fourth quarter, they outscored them 69-44 with 3 all defensive players, Skip. No, so he said what Doc said, as you said, Chris, well, I can't take him out because he more than makes up for it on defense. Well, who the hell had Trae Young? Because Trae Young got 39 points, Chris, so I want to know who was guarding him.
Yep.
Because if he's not going to give you any more than that on Trae Young, now remember, just the other day, Trae Young had 25 and 18. He followed that up with 39 and 7.
Trae got 13 in the fourth quarter, while Ben Simmons was shooting 0 shots in 9.5 minutes.
This was an epic choke job. And to follow it up back-to-back games, Skip, I don't know if we've ever seen a team blow an 18-point lead in one game and then turn around and blow another 26-point lead in the next game.
Yep. So, before I launch, I would like to congratulate Chris Broussard on a virtuoso breakdown of an epic collapse. I really enjoyed listening to Chris because he was spot on with point after point after point. I have to return to his first point because I do love me some Doc Rivers. We all know Doc. We enjoy Doc's company. I've always said to Shannon, if I could play in the NBA, I'd want to play for Doc Rivers, but I cannot tell a lie. I cannot protect or defend today because I am seeing with my own 2 eyes an alarming, disturbing trend in Doc coach teams. If we can go back to the bubble last year, while Doc was coaching the Clippers, they were up 3-1 on Denver, and they had leads in 3 closeout games of 16, 19, and 12, and could not close any of those 3 deals, and it cost Doc his job. Now we see Ty Lue pushing all the right buttons that Doc either didn't want to punch last year or just couldn't see because maybe he was too close to force for the trees. Maybe he just got sick and tired of that group and they needed to hear a new voice.
Well, Ty Lue may be a better therapist than Doc because he got Paul George out of his own head.
He did. So now we carry Doc on to Philadelphia, and we've seen 2 straight games, as Chris points out, of a, wait a second, an 18-point lead and a 26-point lead blown. And we see that Doc has a history of this. a shocking history of this for such a great coach. And I'm seeing the most alarming trend that Doc